All right, so a lot going on. I'm going to try to knock it out during this car ride. We'll see if this does the trick for you. But a lot of players I've been talking to that I saw at these tryouts, you have no idea what you're doing. You have no idea about indie ball. You have no idea about what you're really trying to do, play professionally. You just have no idea. I've never seen more guys with weddings and vacations and family reunions and all this stuff that there's no way that was in my vernacular when I was trying to play. And I wasn't even as actively trying to play when I was you guys. I wasn't like, oh, I want to get signed, I'll do anything. I was just playing the seasons, and I would never miss a regular season men's league game for most of the stuff you guys are missing, what you're telling me, you're all in for. And, it does hurt your credibility tremendously. Like, it really does, especially if you're playing on one of our teams and we're losing because you're not there. I mean, it's really having the opportunity to say you're a winner and a guy that plays to win every day, and then not being there totally negates it. Our defense is still terrible, my guys. Our defense is horrible. No one should really expect anything, in all honesty. It's, you just need the phone to ring. You need the right thing to happen. But, as far as pushing it, you can't push that, and you know it. But announcements as far as what we're doing, the Melbourne Aces general manager Justin Huber has secured our second year of international showdown. The Road Warrior Black Sox and the Killer Bees will go and play the Melbourne Aces in 2 more series out there in Melbourne, Australia. We're also going to get some games against up in Canberra with our good buddy Ben Moore and showcase some of the guys on the week in between those games. The first trip that we do, this series will be November 20th, 21st, and 22nd, which means on our way to November 20th, we will be stopping in Arizona, California to see those managers that we did last year, hopefully playing against our guys in Arizona, the Pueblo tribe. That was awesome. We'd love to do more of that. And we'd really like to bring a lot more guys out there. I told you guys what to do last year, and you really, for the most part, did not do right. Some guys did the complete opposite of what I told them. That's what happens. But, Melbourne, Australia has the best broadcast we've ever been a part of. The views on YouTube, we led the nation in views. They were sold to Korean markets. The attendance at the ballpark, we led the nation in attendance. Every series, we led the nation, Australia, in attendance over the ABL every weekend. Really awesome opportunity for the guys. Jordan Sickett, Jamison Hill, a handful of others, John Stone, Gleason. They signed with Melbourne, played with Melbourne against the Korean teams down the road in uniform. Really cool opportunity. As Melbourne, we got guys to the World Baseball Classic, which you watched them play. It was quite amazing. And Jared Dale signed with a Korean team for I think a little over $500,000, $500,000 contract. So looking forward to bringing guys like Austin Warner out to Korea this year to play for Melbourne. Looking to get other high-level guys in Melbourne to play against them, because they'll sign you and they'll use you in those Korean series, those KBO games. They go to Korea for the KBO Fall Series in October, and then the Koreans come to them, which is the whole point of the international showdown, so they can play series and stay ready, and then at the end of January play against the KBO. They come in for like 3 weeks. The Hanwha Eagles and the KT Wiz are coming to town again, and maybe more. Justin's working on more and expanding and all this stuff, and it's really an amazing, tremendous opportunity for our guys. Looking to have as many of our returners back, of course, if you're with us. The guys that we borrowed, probably not so much. It's amazing to go to another country and show everybody what we do, and you've been kind of circumventing the system for long enough, and then boom, it's right there in front of you, and you just don't do it. So it's, that opportunity was there. It's flown. If you're out there and we need it, we'll call you. But awesome opportunity to go out and play against Melbourne again. We'll be highlighting some of the stuff that we did last winter, and all the home runs and all the, the magic. Amazing. Like Tillman Pugh homers. It's Tyler Williams absolutely went off in the series. The pitchers did great. The catchers, Sip Garza, our manager, did great. So it's going to be cool to see that second go around of that Australia series and how it develops. And we went 1-5, guys. So we were looking more to go 5-1 and lack of preparation and understanding of maybe what it was last year. You guys didn't really know, but I told you, if you're going to spend $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 on the road, living, doing whatever it is indie ball wise, I would scrap that and do this if you qualify. I'm telling you, we've already got Tyler Fearman. We're to announce a game 3 starter before you announce the game 1 starter, but he's going to fly out, I think, on the 20th, and I can't wait to see Fearman game 3 against Melbourne. I think he was our most electric guy. He was so impressive. He was an HSBCU All-Star this year, pitching the All-Star game. Great college season over at, I think, Edward Waters, won a championship. And can't wait to see that guy in the bump this year. He's the only college kid in America to take advantage of that opportunity last year. Kind of amazing that nobody else is, but hey, we just tell you what to do, guys. You either listen or you don't or whatever. And I'll have some examples later I want to put on the show of some guys that I told what to do that didn't. And I won't say any names, but we'll just go example by example. So that's working backwards from the winter. More recently, upcoming, in the future, Lexington Legends, General Manager Justin Faralella. You notice how I mention all the general managers. They're just so good to us. They love the professionalism, the respectability, the accountability that our program brings when you bring the Black Sox Pro Baseball program to your ballpark, to your fans, to your locker room, to your city, to your YouTube, to your league. And thank you guys for doing such a great job over the years. In 2025, we got the opportunity to be the Claiborne Railroaders in the American Association. That was really a once-in-a-lifetime experience. And now, in 2026, on the 3rd of July, in front of fans, fireworks night celebrating America's 250-year existence at Lexington as the Legends, your Black Sox, will be the Lexington Legends. And I've got an amazing crew meeting us over there to do those games. It's going to be really something special. We'll be playing against the Bourbon Barrels from the Kentucky Derby League back in the day, and they will actually be a military-type all-star team put together of veterans and active military. Actually, I think it's active military guys, so they're going to play to beat you, and they're going to be in better shape than you boys. And so that's going to be really awesome opportunity to share the field with those guys, and especially on the 3rd of July. We've done some pretty cool 4th of July stuff. One time in the 2020 Yinzer, we, or maybe it was 21, I don't remember. No, it was 2021. We, pretty sure it was the Road Warrior Black Sox played against the Brilliant Sox, and on the 4th of July at Washington, fans were there. They sold tickets. It was awesome. Another time on the 4th of July, we also went to the Perfect Game League. They paid us to go out there and play the team in Elmira, New York. So adding to our 4th of July kind of festivities and things that we do, actually on the 4th of July, the Kenosha Kings will play and have a game. And instead of bringing most of those Kings guys over for the Lexington game as we originally were going to, we're going to leave some of those guys back home because it is really important that you guys win. Brandon Jeffries, his goal has been to win, and we got to stick with what the mission that we put forth here, fellas. We're going to win, we're going to play well, and we're going to sign players. And if we don't do those things, it doesn't really matter where you travel to in the country or what you try to put together. It really just does not matter. And really, I'm a little bit over the non-performance and the multiple error games and the easy error stuff that I've been hearing going on. Honestly, I'm looking for replacements. I'm trying to bring them in. I've tried to show you that I will do that. I brought in catchers to both teams. I brought in outfielders. Jacob Schlesselman has been phenomenal with the bat. And really just a force in the lineup lately. Last week's Player of the Week, JT Reed, he doesn't even know. I think he stole 7 bases, scored 5-6 runs, and helped us win a couple ball games on Saturday, yesterday. So, it's very competitive, guys. And if I got to keep it competitive by bringing a bunch of players in, that's what we'll do. Last year in Kenosha, we promised that we would not bring anybody except the guys we had. And I think that was a detriment to our ball club. I don't think it really helped us down the stretch. And so this year, just doing the recruiting. I've already been to the Indie Ball Jobs workout in Maryland, and we will be attending their October event. They're going to select some of the best players that we have. And if you're in with us and you do the whole fee, I'll be paying for your tryout up there in Chillicothe, Ohio. I would like to represent our guys there and bring some of our best talent there. Also, went to the Boulders workout over there. Got some players out of there. They're now pitching in New Jersey and some different places. One guy might come down and pitch for Kenosha. So, not enough guys taking advantage of these opportunities, though, when I'm right there in front of you. I know you really don't know who we are or what we do, and I'm not really trying to shadow the what's going on at these events, the Boulders and Southern Maryland Blue Crabs and these teams looking for players. High Point was there, and I'm not trying to overshadow them looking for players. Of course, I'm representing the Charleston Dirty Birds. I'm representing my boy Aaron Miles in Oakland. I'm representing my boy Pat Scalabrini in Quebec, always looking for players for those championship type teams. Also representing the Gary Railcats and Chicago Dogs, my guys Billy Lanford and Randy Reith over there, whoever I can get them. They've been with us for such a long time and have so many of our players in the mix right now. So I'm always looking for those teams, but I'm never going to go try to get players first for those teams before I let kind of everything run its course with if they might sign players. And that's kind of the issue, is that I'm standing there and I'm telling guys facts and math you've never heard. It should make so much sense. I'm like, yeah, I've signed 1,500 guys in the last 7 years, whatever. And guys are like, yeah, whatever. And you don't do it. And then I'm seeing you at the next event, That's just how it's going to go. And if you don't know who I am or what I do, I know I mentioned working for those clubs, but really my story goes back to professional baseball in Italy in 2009. I got into that because I had gone to Florida and got scammed a couple of times and realized that my Black Sox organization was a more professional, legitimate organization than the things that I was trying to do to get signed. And I didn't know how it was going to happen. We didn't become a barnstorming team as the Black Sox until 2013. But 2009 led me to Italy. 2012 led me to the Pecos, where I was there for 1 month. I moved on to the American Association with the El Paso Diablos. I worked for former big league manager Tim Johnson and my good buddy, one of my best friends in baseball, rest in peace, Carlos Lescano, a Puerto Rican coach that was in AAA and in professional baseball for about 40 years. He recently passed, and he really passed down a lot of what he was all about to us, and it's a big part of our culture. I started surrounding myself with guys like Dennis Pelfrey from the San Francisco Giants. He's been with the Giants organization for a while now. Surrounded myself with guys like Patrick James Phillips, came from the Pacific Association. We united with Cipriano Garza. He left the Pecos League in 2020 and won a championship with the Lexington Legends in 2021 on a team that featured Brandon Phillips as a part owner and player. Moved on to the New Jersey Jackals. They went back to the Atlantic League as the Charleston Dirty Birds. So Sip and PJ and I have pretty much been putting ball clubs together since 2019 full time. But 2021, after the Yinzer, we really got into the Atlantic and Frontier stuff. So I work for those clubs. I work for the Melbourne Aces with the International Showdown, building that for them and supporting their club and finding them players and bringing our guys over there to play. As I mentioned earlier, we've done things like spot play for teams that call us and pay us to come in and be them, the Lexington Legends, the Claiborne Railroaders, the just different avenues. We used to actually be the teams that played against the Savannah Bananas, if it's crazy enough to think that players did not want to play against the Bananas back in the day. Well, the teams didn't want to play against the Bananas, but they wanted that money to sell out the ballpark, and we used to provide the players. Most of the players that would have missed those games against the Bananas now are actually playing on the Bananas. We've got a handful of players in the Glow in the Dark League and the Banana League. Guys, sometimes if it doesn't work out for us, it works out in professional baseball in another way, and a lot of our guys have broken that way. So we've really been a pipeline for over 20 years. I've been doing this. The barnstorming stuff, like I mentioned, started in 2013. We expanded, went to so many places, have done so many things. We spent 4 years in California, Northern California, in what was then the Pacific Association, promoted about 200 guys into that, and then about 75 guys to higher levels in those 4 years. We've also promoted the most Pecos League players. I don't deal with them anymore. I don't send anybody there, but I've moved the most Pecos League players on in history. No one will ever move as many as I have. I'm getting near 300 in my existence, knowing that situation over there. We also work closely with Eddie and Jerry in the Empire League sometimes in the fall and spring. We play against them in some games over in Fort Myers when they have their camp. I recommend their thing. They really do a great job. I recommend all the tryouts and all the things. There's not really anything I say to stay away from. I played in the California Winter League. I've played in the Empire Fall Series. I've been to the Frontier League draft tryout. We ran the Pioneer League draft tryouts in Florida for 2 years. And in those 2 years, we signed about 30 guys off of those tryouts. and there were only about 40 guys picked, and we had the majority of the picks. They didn't do the tryout this year. Pretty much guaranteed we would have all of or most of the picks. And the reason that our guys are so good, our players are so good, is because we're doing 300 games a year. We're on the field year-round. Right now we have a franchise in New Jersey playing, a franchise in Kenosha, Wisconsin playing. These are men's league teams set up so that you guys can work day jobs, make your money, be available, play at night, and play a real full circuit nationwide. We were in Florida with a full house until basically recently. We sent everybody up north to play. Everybody needs to play. We have guys going to do group rehab with our team doctor in Fairfield, Connecticut at Physical Synergy. I tell everyone to go there. Most people don't listen. But really, this is the math of the way that I know how to do this. We only really surround ourselves with the best, most credible, knowledgeable people. It is a profession. It is expertise. What I bring to the table, I'll tell you exactly what to do, exactly where to spend your money, exactly how to spend your money, your time, which is actually more valuable than money. I will bring you directly to the tryouts, support you, back you, vouch for you if you're a guy that should be vouched for. Maybe not everybody should be vouched for. And then we have those other tough conversations that are, this is what you need to do to get better. This is what you need to do to make the next step. And our thing might not be the next step for everybody. A lot of guys do this 1 or 2 times and they don't stick with it. Years ago, guys used to come for 5, 6, 7 years and get 9, 10, 11 contracts out of it. You guys want to play for a short period of time? That's what it is now. People are quitting left and right. Nobody's really reliable. So if I'm you guys and I'm a reliable guy and you understand what I'm saying and you're all about this and you're willing to get on the road and travel and put in what's really a good investment and effort into your career, that's the opportunity that I provide for you guys. Try to keep it as short and sweet as I could here on this car ride home. I just got back. Actually, I guess we'll go drop this garbage off real quick since we're here. It's just sitting in the front seat. I can take one more trip. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to like, subscribe, follow on YouTube. I'm putting a lot of this information on YouTube. Not so much the Instagram. I mean, we need to have a little wider reach. And please subscribe to the YouTube. When we get to a certain amount of followers, we can then go live on YouTube from a phone and not just have to upload the videos later or do it from a computer. But really just trying to grow this network and expand this thing, guys. It's been really great working with all you guys, man, especially doing this Lexington thing. We're going to bring Eddie Million out, Yuta Okazaki. We're going to go dig in the crates, Joel Caddy and some guys. And, the cool thing is that all you guys are really the reason that we got here. The men's league stuff, even my boys did back in the day from 2003 to 2013. I was just talking to one first baseman that we might add to our New Jersey team. He's 45 years old, but he was on our first tour team playing against the Newark Bears in 2013, and he's probably better than a lot of you kids. And really, guys, for the guys that are playing now, and I hear this all the time, I hear it from the different lower level leagues. I mean, it's like travel ball. You guys you've watered this down so much. The coaches have to treat you like travel ball. You're travel ball type players, and it's not going to play. It's never going to work. And you might get a little cup of coffee in the game, but that's about it. You might not even get coffee. You might just get the ingredients, and then here, go make it yourself. But in reality, guys, this is about teaching people how to be a man, teaching people how to be a good human, teaching people, what the ropes are of this game. And sorry, I'm always busy. I'm always doing something. I wish I could just sit in my studio and broadcast this stuff, but I really can't. We got the new van for travel. I just had a different car last week, but we had to pick up a bigger one to fit more things. Trying to put our content girl in the car and record this whole thing and make the movie out of it. And, I know guys don't really care or listen when even I have 100 players in my organization. Currently, we got about 100 guys a year, and they don't tag me. Whether you're signed or free agent or whatever, you're not tagging me in all your swings. You're not tagging me in everything. I don't think you understand how broad our reach is, how many managers or coaches are hitting me up every day. I've got coaches in everywhere in the country that I could drop information to. I talk to a lot of teams all the time, other than the teams that I mentioned that I directly, pretty much give it to them first. And I really spread this stuff, and people are actually watching what you guys do. They care about what you guys do. They, and also to managers, if any managers are watching this, I really implore you to please sign our players. I mean, you're signing these untested, they're not battle-tested college kids, these quitters, these guys that are just weak. And I'm not saying that our guys are better. Maybe they don't have better numbers, but I wouldn't tell you that a guy could play at your level if they couldn't. And for the managers that don't sign the guys, then don't sign them. And look at your records and look at the records of some of the teams that I'm saying that I sign these players to. You know, it means so much to me what Pat Scalabrini has done for us over the years, that I drove to Schaumburg last year to watch those last 2 games because I knew he was going to come from behind to win that series in his ugly-ass mustache, and he did it. And I'm so happy that I took that trip and made it all the way there and was a part of that, and got to watch my guy Greg Duncan start Game 5 in the championship in the Frontier League on the mound. I got Greg Duncan years ago. He played in the Yinzer League in Pennsylvania with us, and we signed him into the Atlantic League and some different leagues over the years. And to watch that guy come so far, the reason he's with Quebec is because we were like, this is where you're going to go. You're going to go to Quebec and championship. You know, hugging his parents after Game 5, crying in the stands is beautiful, and that's what it's all about. So it's either you want to be a part of that, or you want to be a part of, you know, a bunch of eyewash bullshit, and that's just not us. So if that's you, there's probably something else for you to do, somewhere else for you to go, some other way to go there. But if you're a real ball player and you want to shut up and play and let me do the thinking, then let's do it, baby. You know, it's so hard. I had a first baseman who went to a tryout, and I asked the manager, hey, can you hit up this guy and tell him if you think our program's a good fit? And he said, I told him that the Black Sox is the best thing that he can do. And he's going to workouts that are, you know, 5 minutes away, and our guys are going there too. And it just makes no sense to not link up. It's really just every player wants to fail on their own how they want to fail, and that's what this is, baby. Baseball's a bunch of self-sabotaging failures. I'm going to do a show on that with my man Sip Garza when we get together. You can argue with me or not. Everybody wants to go out their own way. I did, Sip did, we all do. It's just up to you, really, and I'm just giving you guys the best advice, the best math that I know, how to make this happen, how to save the most money, how to get the most out of your time and energy, and you know, because it really is hard. You don't know, you know, what's going to happen in this. You don't know what route, you know, you're going to go, but it could be amazing. You know, we got a guy playing in Belgium right now. He's having the time of his life. There's another guy playing out there. He's going to come meet us for the Australia series. He's going to hit balls over the fence for us. There's just guys that have world traveled once they learned, like, maybe that's what I want to do. Maybe I don't want to do the indie ball route, because it doesn't have to be for everybody. You know, I don't want to get everybody into the 4 partner leagues. And honestly, there's so much more to it. Our reach is now worldwide. We're trying to get out to Asia, Korea, Japan, and get those players, you know, kind of going in that direction that Tim Adelman went in. I mentioned Tim Adelman. He's one of the guys that came to me a long time ago, and I coached in the American Association in 2012, came to me after, and helped get him signed in the Frontier League, and then he ended up with the Cincinnati Reds in the big leagues and signed for 2.5 in Korea. So, I mean, like, it's so real. It's right there. It's in front of you, and that's why it's an all-day, 24/7 job for me. I'm not coaching professional baseball full-time this year like I did in 24 and part of 25. I've also coached in 2012 and some other years. I helped the New Jersey Jackals in the early 2020s. But it's just not for me, man. Setting this thing up and helping you guys and being a manager and being a general manager, being a team owner, being a recruiter, being an uncle for you guys, being a veteran, being a voice of reason, that's really where I've been putting a lot of my time and energy into. So if you guys think that is something that you're interested in, like I said, hit me up and let's get it going. I'm not trying to explain the program 600 times to guys that just don't get that, like, everybody else does their thing and we do our thing and their thing year round. Plain and simple, very easy math. Get after it or don't. The proof is in the pudding, baby. Everything's on the website. Go to blacksoxprobaseball.com. Look at those lists of previous signed players, previous schedules, what we're doing in the future. It's all right there. It's very spreadsheet. It's very boring. So is baseball. Give it a follow. Hope to talk to you guys soon. Thank you.